Canada, the home nation in Group B. Do we think Canada are going to get out of this group, Cameron? I think from what I've seen in some of their sort of recent friendlies and things, I think they've probably got enough.
Yeah, I think so too. I think they've been blessed, again, like Mexico, they've been blessed with a fairly decent group in which they can do something. Switzerland is the only tough team in there. They've reached the knockouts 4 out of the last 5 tournaments they've been in. So like they're seasoned at it now. Like they know what to do to get out of the group, and you know they've always been a tough team to beat. They can cause an upset or two, and yeah, like I think Switzerland will go top. Canada, they will have enough to get through. I think home soil will help again. I think having the likes of Alphonso Davies and a good attack force with Jonathan David, Lauren, Buchanan will be enough for them to get out of the group. I'm not sure about them defensively though, but I think they'll have enough to be fine. Have a fun tournament. I think the other teams in the group, Qatar and Bosnia, they are not good. They're really not. Qatar, okay, they're Asian champions, but if they're going to be anything like they were in the last World Cup, I don't expect much from them. And then Bosnia, their best players are their 2 strikers, but they're both slow and one's 40. So
yeah, Edin Dzeko has got a great goal in him, but I mean, you've still got to get the ball to him. Which, you know, I mean, I 15 years ago, I wanted Edin Dzeko at Chelsea. I thought he was a proper good centre forward. I really, really liked him. I thought he had every finish in the locker that he needed. I've seen him score some fantastic goals. But that was 15 years ago when he was in his mid and late 20s.
Yeah.
Now that he's 40, I mean, I just don't think it's going to be that same sort of impetus in terms of getting him the ball. I think they'll probably want to move the ball a lot more and then eventually get the ball to him. But I think that his link-up play will be so important. I still just don't think they will get the ball to him, which is going to be a real problem for them. I don't really rate Bosnia at all, I've got to be honest. But I mean, they have been at World Cups, they have scored goals, they probably are a little bit more experienced than Qatar are in terms of at these tournaments. But Qatar obviously being the Asian champions, I feel like there might be a little bit more sort of unity with them. I still don't think that they are very good, and I'm going to agree with you that I think that it will be Switzerland and Canada that go through. Do we think, I mean, based off of what we've seen so far, do we think there will be a chance that there is a third place team going through? Because for me, I don't think this is the group where a third place team comes from.
I think because the group is still, you know, it's an easier group to be in. I think there's still a good chance for the teams to maybe nick a win somewhere and get through, but I think it literally goes down to when Bosnia play against Qatar. If one of them is a winner, they'll have a chance. If it's a draw, which I think it will be, I think we're only going to see 2
Kiss
teams
it goodbye.
2 teams qualify from this group. I'm looking at it still, and I just don't see it. Like Switzerland, Canada, yeah, the other 2, no. And even if they do sneak in, they're not getting knocked out straight away. So it's just not the group. I think it's probably one of the least exciting groups in the World Cup, to be honest.
Yeah, I would probably agree with that. I mean, just looking at the nations that are in it, I think even with Canada, I mean, the one thing that is good about having one of the host nations in this group is the fact of, I don't think that Canada in this tournament are expecting to go and do lots. I mean, you compare with the noise that's coming out of the United States camp about how amazing they are, although they threw a 2-goal lead away against Senegal, and you know everyone keeps chatting from America about how confident they are they're going to come and take over our game, and I'm sure some of it is playful, but I also think some of it is genuinely quite serious. I don't hear that same conversation, that same talk from Canada, so I think there is a lot of respect around, look, we've got to go and do our work and we've got to go and do our thing. And you've got players like Alphonso Davies, who is not going to be the superstar at this tournament that everyone maybe thinks he's going to be, but he definitely will be a calming influence player, having played at that top level, you know, for obviously Bayern Munich, and has some experience of being there before in international tournaments with Canada. But I think a lot of people forget, I don't think Canada have ever won a game of football at the World Cup. they have to break that cycle to go and win this group. Now, again, looking at the teams in this group and the fact that they're at home, I think they can do it. And I would not be surprised to see them go from no World Cup wins to all of a sudden winning the group. I could see it. I don't think it's likely, and I still think it will just be enough to go through, because again, I don't think that Switzerland and Canada's game against each other is going any other way than probably a Switzerland win for me. But with that being said, if they can somehow manage to sit back, soak up the pressure, go on the counter-attack and attack with a lot of flair that they do, they like to get the ball wide and then cross it in, old school football tactics. If you can get round the side, round the back and then play that ball across, give someone half chance for a tap-in or a pullback or something like that, they genuinely could cause problems. And I think that maybe that's the sort of thing where they actually end up getting a draw out of it and then win the group. I do think that's probably unlikely, I have to be honest. But I think in terms of the group, I'll go for my sort of 1, 2, 3, 4, Cameron, if you want to follow suits afterwards. For me, I think it's going to be Switzerland, Canada. I'm going to go Qatar third, just because I think that they might have that little bit more unity, and I think they are probably a more rounded team than Bosnia are. So I think they'll at least pick up a point or go and beat Bosnia when they play them. So I'm going Qatar third, Bosnia fourth.
The only change I'll make is I think Qatar will finish bottom and Bosnia will finish third. So that's how I do it.
It's one of those that, you can't quite get which way that it is. But, I think for me, I can only see two teams winning this group. And I'll be honest with you, I don't see the winner of the tournament coming from this group at all. I don't see a semi-finalist coming from this group. I think the aim for these teams is to get to a quarterfinal is probably the ambition, I have to say. Of course, when you're in that moment, you're like, yeah, of course we're going to go further. But I think if any of these teams got to a quarterfinal, I think they would be massively, massively impressed with themselves. I just don't think it's going to be the best group to watch, I've got to be honest.
No, I don't think so either. Saying that now, when the game's going to finish 4-3 with a 97th minute winner.
Yeah, that will inevitably happen. And do you know what game it'll be? It'll be Bosnia versus Qatar.
Yeah, to send them through to the next round in third place. That's what it will be.
Oh, God. And that'll probably be on about 3 o'clock in the morning. We'll wake up and go, oh, I knew I should have stayed up for that one. No.